Hello everyone and welcome back. I had a hectic evening as I went to pick some veggies and settle them all in the fridge, which I did record but accidentally deleted all the clips while transferring. But as they say, बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. So this Simran moved on to making dinner, which was moot dal and bharwa tinde, since it's Karthik's absolute favorite. Now for the dal, I'll take 1 teaspoon oil and crackle some cumin seeds, ajwain, 1 bay leaf, red chilies and half-inch cinnamon stick. Then I'll add some hing and add grated ginger garlic, chopped green chili and onions. At this stage, I'll add some turmeric and let the onions saute till they turn golden brown. Once done, I'll add chopped tomatoes and the basic spices like red chili powder, coriander powder, salt and a little water to avoid the spices from burning, and saute till the oil leaves its sides. After 2 to 3 minutes, I'll add the moot dal that I had pre-soaked in the morning. Saute the dal in the gravy and add hot water as per your desired consistency. Lastly, add more salt if needed and cook on low to medium heat till 3 to 4 whistles. While the dal is simmering, I'll prep for bharwa tinde. When I was in the vegetable market, I saw these cute looking small sized tinde which I had to bring back home. So the first thing is to prepare the base for the gravy. For that, in the mixer jar goes the green chili, 1 tomato, half-inch ginger and some soaked nuts. Next, I'll slit the tinde to fill the stuffing. For the stuffing, I'll use the basic spices like red chili powder, coriander powder, roasted cumin powder, garam masala powder and amchur powder. Mix everything and stuff this spice mix into the tinde. This way, tinde absorbs the spices well and tastes really good. I also like the simple and dry version of tinde, but sometimes to add variation, I cook them like this. By the way, this is mom's recipe and Karthik absolutely loves it. Prep is done and now it's time to cook them. To speed up the process, I'll cook them in the cooker, but you can also use a kadai. I'll start by adding 1 tablespoon mustard oil. Then I'll add cumin seeds, turmeric, finely chopped onions and saute them well. Cook the onions for 3 to 4 minutes till they turn golden and then add the prepared tomato puree. Stir the puree and add salt and some red chili so that the tomato gravy cooks faster. I was also left with the stuffing spice mix, so we'll add that too. Now cook this covered till the gravy is completely cooked. You'll notice that the color of the gravy will change and it will start leaving the bottom of the pan. At this stage, I'll add 2 teaspoons of fresh cream and mix it well. This will only make the gravy richer. The gravy is cooked nicely So now I'll add the stuffed tinde. Mix the tinde well with the gravy as you want the tinde to soak into this rich gravy. Lastly, I'll add around half cup of water to adjust the consistency of the gravy. Cover the cooker and cook this on medium-high flame till one whistle and not more. Then let this sit in the remaining heat till the pressure settles. Dal is done, but I'll add some hot water to get the right consistency. Lastly, the final tadka goes into the dal, and for that, in some ghee, I'll add chopped garlic, kasuri methi and Kashmiri red chili powder and pour this tadka into the dal. This just takes the taste and aroma of the dal to another level. Tinde is done and has the right texture. Overcooking in cooker makes them gooey and I don't like that. Mix them well in the gravy and add kasuri methi and chopped coriander and the delicious stuffed tinde is ready. Let me show you how perfectly they are cooked. For the salad, I'll chop some salad leaves, cucumber and some vinegar onions that I had prepared at home. Added simple seasoning like black salt, pepper and lemon and mixed everything well. Karthik gets late while coming back from the office, so the kids eat early. These days, I get the mixed grains milled from the local mill and use the flour for making rotis and parathas. There is no change in taste, but this adds more nutrition to a simple chapati. Dinner is ready and we have delicious moat dal with stuffed tinde, salad and both rice and paratha because both kids have different preferences. Dhairya just prefers rice at night and Ruthvi is okay with whatever. I was really drooling over this dinner plate because I like tinde too, especially this version. As usual, Ruthvi was hesitant to eat tinde, but she tried and liked it. Hearing praises from her gives so much satisfaction. Karthik and I had our dinner and it was bedtime for the kids. He prefers putting them to sleep while I do some next day prep. Friday nights are the time when I start prepping for the dosa batter since Sunday lunches are usually idlis and dosas. So for the batter, I take 2 cups of rice. I use any rice and into this I add 1 cup urad dal. Next, I also add 2 tablespoons chana dal as it gives a different flavor. And then wash everything well together. I know a lot of people soak them separately, but I like doing it this way, and the results are always very satisfactory. I get softer idlis and crispy dosas from this same ratio method, so I like following it without doubting. After rinsing everything well, I'll soak them in water and add 1 teaspoon methi seeds. Now this will rest overnight and we'll grind it in the morning. For the next prep, I'll soak some whole moong to make sprouts to consume in different ways throughout the week. I use them as sprout sabzi, chila, or even sprout salads. Next, I'll also soak some kala chana for lunch tomorrow. If not for the entire week, at least prepping for the coming 2 days gives so much clarity and helps us eat intentionally and consume better meals. They may look like small preps, but when we get the output like no wastage, healthy meals, and lesser effort, it feels like massive wins every single day. Next, I'll soak some nuts, which are actually my pre-workout snack before going to the gym in the morning. And lastly, I'll take 1 glass of water and add 1 tablespoon chia seeds to drink first thing in the morning. This water helps add a bit to my protein intake and keeps me from consuming caffeine first thing in the morning, which is honestly very challenging for me. And these small preps done ahead my gym time actually motivates and kind of push me to go to the gym. And that's all with the prep. And with everything done, I'll just make myself a relaxing herbal tea before hitting the bed. I have found herbal teas to be the best alternative to my black coffee cravings because coffee at night means pulling an all-nighter. Now, while I was doing the prep, a few items got over in the pantry. So, I'll quickly update my grocery list, which I keep handy on the phone. Weekends are usually the time when I go grocery shopping. So, this list comes in very handy. Weekends start with a pumped up workout session at the gym, and this consistency has now become a habit. It's been 7 months since I started hitting the gym, and I actually look forward to my workouts now. I always thought that I was not a gym person or that lifting weights had nothing to do with the women, and that too for a homemaker. But how wrong I was. Strengthening our muscles in the hope of living an independent and pain-free life in old age is everyone's dream and aim, even a homemaker's. My body has toned, my posture has improved, back pains and headaches are totally gone, and all the test reports are clear. I am happy to break that stereotype for myself, and this change in mindset has really pushed me to go to gym every single day. Thankfully, I found myself a good trainer who understands my workout goals and guides me with the needed caution. I feel so happy to see so many ladies from the society coming in, giving themselves some real self-love. And this motivates me further to keep going. Now I am in the age where it's not about weight loss, looking slim, or having a perfect beach body. No. It's about feeling good both physically and mentally, looking fit, and staying away from the bodily issues like pains and aches. I take my daily dose of protein shake right after workout. A lot of you ask me about what protein shake I use, so I have tried many and I feel HK Vitals and Q&T Prime Way really suits me well and have given me good results. I'll link both in the description if you wish to check them. After heavy monsoon showers, I was happy to see clear skies and sunlight. The best part about monsoons is healthy and happy plants. This money plant trail has gone really long, so I thought of cutting a piece and growing it in water. I'll take some more cuttings from the other money plant and add more to this. I really love having little greens here and there in the kitchen. It's hard to maintain them in the kitchen, but I keep shifting them in and out to the balcony to make sure they thrive. Since I got a whole batch of veggies yesterday, I decided to make a veggie loaded breakfast today, but with a twist. So today I'll make quick dahi upma, and for that I'll start by chopping all the veggies. Whenever I make upma, Karthik and kids like adding curd into it. So today I thought of adding it while cooking. And this small change made it taste so different from regular upma. If you are also bored of having the same breakfast for upma, try this version and I guarantee you will love it. You can add any veggies of your choice. I have taken some carrot, beans, green chili, onions and peas. I'll also whisk 1 cup curd and add 1 cup water into it to make a buttermilk like consistency to add to the upma later. Now for the cooking, I'll take 1 teaspoon ghee and 1 teaspoon oil in the kadhai. This is a 1-pot breakfast meal, so I'll start by sauteing the peanuts. Once the peanuts turn brown, I'll add some chana dal, urad dal and half cashews and fry them till golden. Once done, I'll add mustard seeds, 1 slit green chili, hing and finely chopped curry leaves and cook for 15 seconds. Then add all the chopped veggies, salt and cook them for just 1 minute and not more. Upma tastes better when veggies have some bite and are not mushy. Once done, add 3/4 cup suji and roast it well with the veggies. This will take 4 to 5 minutes and you will know it's ready when you get the nice aroma or when suji starts leaving the sides of the kadhai. Once that is done, add the prepared buttermilk and stir everything well. I'll add a pinch of sugar to balance the sourness of curd and now cook this till the upma thickens. Turn the flame off at slightly flowy consistency as upma thickens further after cooling. And this is how a simple breakfast gets an upgrade. Honestly, I like this version better than the normal one. Or maybe because it was a change in taste. I topped it with some pomegranate seeds and freshly chopped coriander, and everyone liked it. Dare was busy messing things around the house while I enjoyed my warm plate of breakfast. Weekends are exciting, but today I was all the more excited for a package I received from one of my followers here. She has an Instagram store by the name Art Park by Drishti Patel, specializing in custom made hand painted fabrics. From garments to home furnishings, she customizes anything and everything with her art. I just felt honored when she insisted on sending me this gift. The package was beautifully packed, and honestly, I had no idea what it actually was until I opened it and found this quirky table cover. I was amazed to see the hard work that must have gone into creating this customized piece. And I think it's a well thought gift. And with the festive season coming in, I think these subtle ways of adding customization to your festive gifts will be a great idea. I was even more amazed to see that Drishti makes hand painted saris. Such a beautiful idea. She hand painted our names onto this dining table cover and added such cute and quirky images that I was thrilled to see it. I showed it to Karthik too, who equally praised the effort. Then I had also ordered a few more things, so I opened the rest of the parcels. First was Multani Mitti for a face pack. Honestly, this is one pack that suits my skin the most, and my last pack just got over. Then I also ordered a few microfiber face sponges for removing face packs and makeup. I use cotton pads currently, but for heavier makeup, I feel these reusable ones are better since they have more surface area and are really soft. Next, I ordered body tapes. There are a few dresses and shirts of mine that keep falling off the neck area, and sticking that part to the body gives me a more comfortable look. Not sure how effective they are in holding garments, but I'll try them and let you know. In the meantime, if you guys have tried it, let me know in the comment section. The last thing I ordered was this brow pencil from Mars. I had read some good reviews about it and wanted to try it. I have fuller eyebrows but need something to fill in the gaps, so I ordered this one in dark brown shade. This pencil comes with a spoolie on one side to tame the brow hair and very thin pencil on the other side. It makes fine hair-like strokes, so that definitely gets a thumbs up from me.
Perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper.
After a small rest, I came to the kitchen to finish some pending work. The dosa mix I soaked last night has swelled well, so now I'll simply grind it and let it ferment till it doubles in size. Here is a thing, I don't count hours. I trust visuals because fermentation depends more on weather than hours. I let it ferment till I see big bubbles in the batter, and that's when I know the idlis will be soft and fluffy. The time can vary between 12 to 20 hours depending on the weather. You can also try this next time you make the batter. The sprouts have also swelled up and started sprouting already, but they'll remain outside for 2 to 3 days, and I'll just wash them every 12 hours to get long tails. Lastly, I'll keep the chickpeas for boiling to start prepping for lunch. Time given for small preps, be it home or on shelf, really gives great results in long term. And I hope this vlog will encourage you to do the same. Do like this video and subscribe to the channel for more such vlogs, and I'll see you in the next vlog very soon.